Are you trying to eat healthy but you got a sweet tooth? Stick around, I'm gonna help you out.
Ooh, you hear that crack?
I could snack on these all day.
Greetings and welcome to or welcome back to PB with Jay. Here on the channel we focus on all things plant-based goodness. Halloween is just around the corner, and even if you're watching this video after Halloween, people got sweet tooths. I got a sweet tooth. So I'm gonna show you 3 candy type things that you can make using almost entirely whole food plant-based ingredients. There's only one thing in here that doesn't use whole food plant-based ingredients, and I'm gonna give you swaps in case you wanna go all the way with that as well. Today, we are making like little mini chocolate bars. I like to call them Betterfingers. We're making a caramel dip for, you name it, apple slices, pretzels, whatever you like to dip. But the first thing we're gonna make is what I like to call witch's brew fruit gummies. I'll be putting all of the ingredients on the screen, but I'll also put them in the description down below, and I'm gonna include both US metric as well as grams for people around the world, help you out. So there's a couple ingredients on here that you might have to source, one of which is agar powder. You're gonna need that for the gummies. I found this at my local bulk store. They just started offering this at Bulk Barn in Canada, so check that out if you live in Canada. If you don't live in Canada and you don't have bulk stores where you live, you can find this kind of stuff online, so I would check it out. Agar powder is different from agar flakes. They are technically from the same source, but you use them in different increments, so you're gonna want the powder for what we're using today. One little quick note is that if you have a nut allergy and you can't use the peanut butter or the almond butter inside of these recipes, you can swap that out with tahini or any kind of seed butter that you can eat. So for our gummies, the other things you're gonna need is some kind of a mold. Preferably on the smaller side is better. And you're gonna want some kind of like a dropper that you can pour the liquid into. Although if you don't have that, a small spoon will probably do you just fine. So you can do this using any fruit you have, preferably something like a berry or a mango. I haven't tried this with stuff like pear or apple, but give it a shot if you really want to. So if you have fresh fruit, awesome. If you want to use frozen fruit, that's fine too. I'm gonna use frozen raspberry today because I just want this really nice red color. So the first thing you need to do if your fruit is frozen, you need to thaw it. And then we're gonna blend that so it's nice and smooth together. If you wanna strain it so it's like a smoother candy kind of thing, go for it. I don't mind the little chunks inside of it, gives it a little bit of extra texture, but you do you. We're gonna add that to a saucepan along with some maple syrup, lemon juice, and our agar powder. And we're gonna gently boil that for just like a minute or 2, and you wanna stir the entire time. You need the heat to activate the agar. I'm not doing this right now, but if you wanna get extra fancy and you wanna add like a tablespoon or 2 of coconut milk to add a little marbled look, do that right at the end, but just be careful not to blend it all in together. Otherwise, you're just gonna get a creamy red or whatever fruit you're using color. Now we're just gonna pour that into our molds, or we're gonna use our little eyedropper to put it in. And then we're gonna let them set for 20 to 30 minutes on the counter. If you want them to set a little faster, put them in the fridge. Carefully pop them out of the molds and you're good to go. These things last at least a week, though they're not gonna last that long because you're gonna be smashing them into your face. All right, next let's make the caramel dip. To start off with the caramel dip, we're going to get some water boiling because what we wanna do is we wanna soak our dates inside of that. And if you're gonna make the Betterfingers later on, you can soak the amount for that as well. So you need 1.5 cups of dates total. But if you're just making the caramel sauce, just do 3/4 cup of dates. And then you just need to soak that for like 10 minutes. So start getting everything else organized while that's just softening up. If you have super soft dates, you might be able to skip this step. So we're gonna blend those together along with the rest of the ingredients, including the almond butter, plant milk, vanilla extract, and a little bit of cinnamon, and just a pinch of salt. You can put in a little bit of lemon juice as well if you want to brighten up the flavor of it, but that's optional. Scrape down the sides as needed, and if you find it too thick, you can add a little bit more plant milk. Taste and tweak. This is where if you want to add a little bit of lemon, you can. Otherwise, we're just gonna put that into a small bowl. If you have something small and fun, like a little cauldron type thing, put it in there, that's extra fun. And you're done. This is a perfect, healthy snack for kids after school in particular, if you wanted to get them to eat more fruit. You just put that beside a plate full of cut up fruit and let them dip to their heart's content. It's also great with like pretzels or crackers. And this is the kind of thing that we like to make, and sometimes we'll smear it on top of pancakes as opposed to maple syrup. Put this in the fridge. It'll continue to thicken as it sits in the fridge, and this will be good for at least a week or two inside your fridge. And last but not least, we're gonna make some mini little chocolate bars that I like to call Betterfingers. A while ago, we posted a review of Danielle Brown's book, Healthy Girl Kitchen, and she has this recipe called, it's basically like a Butterfinger type chocolate bar. And so I've taken that idea, but I've made it whole food plant-based. For the most part, I am gonna put like a chocolate glaze over top, but I'll tell you how you can avoid that if you want as well. The difference between her recipe and what I'm doing here is I'm gonna add some chickpeas to it to just kind of add some more protein and just to make it a little healthier. I'm going to use a combination of cornflakes here, and if I don't have enough of those, I'm gonna use in whatever other dry cereal I have. I might use some Chex, I might use some Rice Krispies, whatever you got. But the trick is when you put it in the food processor, you just wanna pulse it very, very lightly. You don't want this to turn into dust, you just want quick little crumbles. So just a couple pulses is all you need. If you didn't soak your dates for the cauldron dip, soak 3/4 cup of dates now in some warm water. Unless you have really smooth dates or like soft dates, then you can skip that step. So you're gonna add in the dates, the peanut butter, the chickpeas, the vanilla, and the salt to the food processor and blend that until it's like a nice, sticky, smooth dough. Add in the flax seeds as well here. And then what we're gonna be doing is we're just gonna kind of fold in that crushed up cereal we already did. You want the texture to kind of remain inside of there. So you have to be careful with pureeing that too much. All right, Woody, you want me to test dummy?
What'd you call me? Crunchy. That's good.
A little bit of chocolate on there?
Yeah, you know how I feel about chocolate.
You don't like it.
Hate it.
So you've got a couple options here for how to make the shapes of your chocolate bars. If you have really small molds, you can just press the amount into that. Otherwise, another option is just kind of rolling it out into a big, giant, flat rectangle, and then you can shape that into bars later. I recommend freezing this for just like 30 minutes or so, because when you put the chocolate on, it's gonna stick a little bit better if you're using chocolate. And later on, you can cut the bars. They'll cut easier if they're frozen, if you want a more like square traditional shape. I think today I'm gonna use molds. So while that's freezing, you can make a chocolate coating. So there's a couple options here. I'm not doing this one, but if you have access to cocoa butter, I couldn't find any that wasn't ridiculously expensive. You could mix about 3/4 cup of that with 1/4 cup of maple syrup and 2 tablespoons or so of cocoa butter. And if you're okay not going whole food plant-based, you could also try coconut oil in there. Honestly, all I'm doing today is keeping it super, super simple, and I'm just gonna cut up this chocolate bar, and I'm gonna melt about 1.5 cups of it inside a double boiler and just let that stay warm while I dip. So once the inside of my Betterfinger is ready, I'm gonna pop that out, or if you're doing the chocolate bar method where you've made like a rectangle, you can cut that into the shapes now. And then I'm just gonna use either like a fork, or if I can rustle up some toothpicks. I don't think we have any toothpicks in this house, but I can find some. I'll use that to just kind of dip my mixture inside to coat it, and then I'm gonna put it on parchment just to let it kind of solidify. The other nice bonus is that because these are coming out of the freezer and they're frozen, the chocolate is going to harden a lot faster. If you want to be really, really fancy, you could temper the chocolate and get it to the right temperature. I've never been that kind of a person and I don't really care enough, so I'm not worried about it. I had a little extra chocolate inside of the bowl, so I just threw in some of these Nature's Path crispy rice. Basically Rice Krispies. Mix it in, and now I'm just gonna put it into a little chocolate bar mold we have and make kind of like a crunch bar. If you want to avoid the chocolate altogether, here are some other options. You could just roll the mixture inside of cocoa powder. You could roll them in crushed peanuts or crushed almonds or any crushed nut of your choice. You could also roll them in cacao nibs. That's another option if you want to go a completely whole food plant-based version like this.
Pick a good one. Oh, this one right in the middle. Show us the shape. Dog bone. Tell me, you want it? It's like, let's see if it's actually gummy. Or if it's just like, so many seeds.
Yeah, you can puree the seeds out, but I kept them in for like texture, like bone pieces.
It's just like, it's not even gummy. It's just like harder jello. I could snack on these all day. I'll have another one.
Yeah?
But get rid of the seeds.
Okay.
Very raspberry.
I'm trying one of these.
They're good. I just find that agar has a very, it's not like a gummy. It's like a,
Yeah, that's what I said.
like a fruit bite.
Ah, it's melting my hand.
Yeah, the chocolates were only in the fridge for a few minutes, for about 10 minutes or so.
I would not call this a gummy. I'd call it a fruit bite.
Okay.
It's not gummy at all. But it's good. Flavor is great.
Not crispy.
Did the freezer kill the cornflake?
Do not freeze it. Let's try this caramel. I shouldn't really be putting this stuff in there, actually.
Too late.
What? Why?
That's very good with apple. I dig it. It's going in for more. Just melted chocolate and Rice Krispies.
Yeah. Did the freezer kill the crunch?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because the actual Butterfingers are crunchy.
Yeah. The ones we made before were.
Yeah.
And they were when you were trying them, right? But how is it otherwise?
It's good.
Good flavor? Mm-hmm. So I would just say, don't put the Butterfinger mix into the freezer. Just put it in the fridge. Just so it can kind of solidify a little bit. This makes it easier to dip the chocolate. Yeah, it's too bad. I have made them before though, and the cornflake works, so just don't freeze them. I thought the freezer would help with the dipping. Anyway, I'm still chalking this up as a success. I haven't tried my fruit bites, is that what we're calling these?
They're pretty good.
Oh, they're so good. Mmm. That's such good raspberry flavor. That's just frozen berries. So good. So simple. None of this stuff was hard to make. Honestly, each of these things, like chocolate bar stuff, just took time for things to set. None of this was complicated. I made all of this together probably within like an hour and a half. Individually, probably less than half an hour each.
It tastes good. The texture is a bit funky. It's just the way it's solidified.
Gotcha. More like a jelly. Okay. So this is the caramel sauce that you would probably have with an apple. One of the chocolates.
Not tempered.
It's not tempered, no.
Ooh, you hear that crack? You hear that?
Yeah.
I like it. I think I like those other Butterfingers better though.
You know what? I put them in the freezer, and I think it killed the crunch. So that's my fault.
I really like the caramel.
But what if it was like just like a healthy thing to have with apple?
It's pretty good with apple. An apple makes it taste better.
Right. I hope you enjoyed this video featuring healthy candy. Let us know in the comments down below what some things you do when you're trying to satisfy your sweet tooth. If you have our cookbook, we've got a recipe on page 100 for 2-minute turtles that are like another kind of like a chocolate type thing, but it's just using dates and chocolate and pecans. Super simple, super easy. If you don't have a copy of the cookbook yet, I put the QR code on the screen for the ebook. And if you want to get a hard copy of the cookbook, we have them in stock. Again, you can email me at the address that's on the screen right now. Send me your address and I'll let you know how you can get one. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to let YouTube know to share it with other people. Obviously, subscribe for more videos like this. And if you got a little extra time, YouTube has this video all queued up for your viewing pleasure. Thanks. And if Halloween hasn't passed yet, happy Halloween.